SmackDown.com. We're going to be whipping up some black bean, protein brownies. So first of all, what are we going to put in this stuff? Egg whites, cocoa, cottage cheese, coconut flour, peanut butter, little honey, a whole can of black beans, some sugar-free chocolate syrup. This is optional. And your favorite chocolate protein powder. I have actually chocolate brownie from Champion Performance. This is pure whey protein from Champion Performance. We're using that today. So let me get my bowl, let me get a couple measuring cups, and let's whip up these. So I got a few things measured out, and now we're going to try turn these beans into like a little slush or something. I've never made this recipe before, so I'm going to kind of wing it here. I'm going to put my beans into the blender, and I'm going to try add all my wet ingredients at once. Maybe not the egg whites. I don't want to beat them too hard and get them all fluffy. I don't think I need to whip those in the blender, so I'm going to try it without if I can get away with it. So we got the beans. We do 5 tablespoons of cottage cheese. A cup of honey. Put that right in there. I need a little spatula. I'll use my finger. I'm going to be able to. So now for the test here, I have no idea if this is even going to mix, but we'll see. Let's put it on the blender. Put it on the blender here. Alright, that took a good 2 to 3 minutes, but I got it all nice and smooth. I kind of had to help it a little with my spoon. I didn't have to put the egg whites in, so let's dump this thick black bean cottage cheese honey mixture into the bowl. Alright, into our black bean honey cottage cheese mixture. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dump in the 1 cup of egg whites. This was took me about 6 eggs to get 1 cup of egg whites. Use liquid egg whites if you have them. Put those in and just fold them in a little bit. Okay, so now into a separate dish, we're going to be mixing up all of our dry ingredients just to get them all mixed up before we put them into the wet. So we're going to start off with, again, our Champion Performance 100% pure whey plus chocolate brownie protein. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup. So, actually have a real measuring cup. Okay, next we got our coconut flour. And we're going to be putting 3 tablespoons into the dry bowl. 1, 2. Oh, come on now. 3. Oh, that stuff smells. Oh, that smells so good. Alright, next into the dry mixture, we got 1/4 cup of cocoa. 1/4 cup seems like a lot, but man, we got to change these beans and make them taste like chocolate. So, let's get a whole 1/4 cup here. Put that right in the mix. And then into the dry bowl, next goes our 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Don't forget this stuff. This, if you lose this, your brownies are not going to turn out. And then 2 more things that we can now toss into our wet before we add our dry. We can add anywhere between 1 to 3 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. And really, the more the better. If you can't afford the calories or the fat, go with 1. Otherwise, load it up with 3. I'm going to go with 2. There's 1 tablespoon. Whatever doesn't come out of the spoon, you get to eat. So I'll just do a heaping because it didn't all come out of there. There's my 2nd tablespoon of natural peanut butter. Can't go wrong with eating peanut butter straight out of the jar, I'm telling you. Alright, so let's mix this in here a little bit. Get that peanut butter spread around. Alright, now I'm just going to kind of take a little spoon or a fork and just kind of make sure all my dry ingredients are mixed together before I put them into the wet. This helps it cook better and disperse the flavors. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to pour my dry into the wet. Mix this up. Don't mix it too hard. We don't want to get too much air in our egg whites. We kind of want to keep it a nice dense brownie. Now the last ingredient that we're going to dump in here is optional. I'm going to roll with it because I like a really chocolatey tasting brownie. So I've got some sugar-free chocolate syrup. I'm going to put in 1/4 cup. Now, based on how this looks when I'm done, if it looks a little moist, I'm just going to add a little bit more protein so you guys can see this. Alright, so the final step is we're actually going to load the brownie batter up into our pan. We want to grease our pan, so I'm going to use a little bit of vegetable shortening, just enough, and I take a little paper towel and just scoop some out and then just rub it all over the pan. Don't worry about adding this to the macros, it's negligible, it's just so the brownies aren't going to stick. And man, this is a small brownie pan, but looks like it's going to be almost enough for a 9x13. So let's dump this in here and see what we got going. Try to smooth and even this out into the corners. Oh yeah, this looks really cool. Huh. That's good. Alright, so now we're popping this bad boy in the oven, 45 minutes to an hour. Let it cook, we'll come back, give one a test, let you know how they turned out. Alright, we're going to check on these bad boys. Holy cow, they're really tall. Whew. That toothpick went all the way in and came out pretty clean. I'm going to try one more, but I think I should have used a 9x13. But we'll keep trying her out. Stay tuned. Alright, I just took these babies out of the oven. Again, 8x8 pan. Took me only 40 minutes. Okay, so if you're going to dump this into 9x13, you better start checking it with a toothpick around 20. Or you're going to burn them. I'm going to let these cool off, and then we'll come back one more time when I dig in. Stay tuned. Guys, the brownie just got done. Took it out of the oven. Here's what it looks like. Nice cake looking thing. So let's take a bite, see how it tastes. Might need to whip up a batch of protein frosting. I know Gabe's got one of those that he did a while back. So if it's not quite sweet enough, I'm either going to add some stevia in or put some frosting on it. But here we go. Pretty moist. Not bad. For me personally, I could use a little more sweet, so maybe add some stevia to the batter. But I think I'm going to whip up Gabe's chocolate protein frosting recipe. Just if you're on the site, search it, you'll find it. Drizzle some of that on top, but these are pretty legit. Definitely worth giving it a shot. Play with the recipe a little bit, get it to tweak it to what you like. But man, these are going to be a go-to. Gonna eat these babies instead of Oreos. I didn't want to have to sit around and wait to make a batch of protein frosting. So what I did is I took some of that sugar-free chocolate syrup, just drizzled it right on top of the brownie so it soaked it in. Took a bite. That was the ticket. So if you don't want to spend time, whipping up another batch of another protein recipe, just drizzle some of that sugar-free syrup on there, and that did the trick. That got it just the right level of sweetness, and this is a pretty good alternative to a brownie.